However, is there any indication that the number of military personnel coming back are any more likely than anyone else to be involved in any sort of these extremist activities?
Look, again, and I'm sorry I'm talking with media as opposed to within the intelligence community itself, because we would be having a different conversation. But what you're doing is just looking at things out in the environment that in the past have had some connection with increases in violent extremism. And that's what we're talking about, violence against the homeland. And the United States Department of Homeland Security, one of our jobs is to protect against terrorism. That's why our department exists. And so to that end, information is shared. But again, and if you actually read the report, I know that some certain language is being taken out of context, but you have to read it. It's a pretty straightforward analysis of economic and other conditions in the country right now.
Well, I have read it, and Madam Secretary, there's a footnote on page 2 where you do talk about what is right-wing extremism, and it says it may include groups and individuals that are dedicated to a single issue, such as opposition to abortion or immigration. Madam Secretary, I'm a member of the Catholic Church, which is opposed to abortion and has been forever. You know, by this definition, that makes Catholics right-wing extremists.
Let me be very clear. If there's one part of that report I would rewrite in the wordsmithing, Washingtonese that goes on after the fact, it would be that footnote. But obviously, and people out there know, there have been some that have taken advocacy, the exercise of constitutional rights, far beyond that, into different groups. You know, on the other side of the political spectrum, for example, we have the same in the animal rights category, where we have a very, very active community in the United States for the protection of animal rights, but occasionally, very rarely, but it does happen, you know it happens, it spills into violence. It's the violence that we are trying to protect. It spills into violence. It's the violence that we are trying to protect. It spills into violence. It's the violence that we are trying to protect.